Will you help me welcome Norio Hayakawa? Welcome, Norio.
Thank you very much. My name is Norio Hayakawa, and I am a resident of Torrance, California. Can our government, on its own, simulate certain type of events to create some type of panic? And the answer to me was yes, definitely possible.
Norio Hayakawa calls himself an unorthodox ufologist and activist.
His involvement in the UFO scene goes all the way back to the 1980s.
He has been researching UFOs for the last 45 years and says that something is about to happen in the very near future.
I've had a fascinating life which I never regret. Everything in this world has a meaning, and I'm so grateful to be part of some kind of a direction that is bringing people to certain kind of awareness, and through conspiracy theories and so on, it's being well, I think it's doing something. My father used to tell me of his strange experience that he had. Almost every night he went fishing by himself in the Bay of Yokohama. One summer night, as he was fishing around 2:30 in the morning, suddenly he had witnessed
A huge green ball of fire streaking across over the bay. In fact, he specifically stated that that greenish ball of fire moved as if it was controlled by some type of artificial mechanism.
So he became a believer that there was this thing that he couldn't explain, and he used to tell me about his experience at the dinner table quite often. You know, my mother was kind of skeptical about it, and but I was a believer that he did see something, and so that became the basis for my later interest in flying saucers. My father had a tremendous influence on me. One day I get a letter from my mother saying that she was so excited because for the first time in her life she witnessed not a UFO, but she said it was a flying saucer, typical flying saucer with a dome attached on top, and it was just hovering over a crowded railroad station in Yokohama, Japan. Something told her to turn around and look back towards the railroad station. She turned around and to the grandson to turn around and look back towards the station. And at that instant, that flying saucer was gone. It totally dematerialized. I definitely believe that she saw a flying saucer. The question is, what was that really? That's the main question, and that's why I continue to study this topic of flying saucers and UFO phenomenon, because it seems like it's real, but I still don't have the real answer to this mystery. It's beautiful. That mountain, the Manzano Mountain right there, is an underground base that was constructed in 1947, the very same year of the establishment of the Air Force, the establishment of CIA, the establishment of the National Security Agency. The National Security Act took place in 1947. So everything seemed to have started in 1947, including the so-called strange incident that supposedly took place in Roswell. And hardly anybody comes here. Even on weekends, most people don't know about this place. And there's a sign that says, "This place may be monitored." I went to the place and tried to find where the camera is. I couldn't find it. This is where the security guard comes once in a while along this road and go all around, and they guard this area. So even though they say that this place was closed down in 1992 and was moved to another location inside the Kirtland Air Force Base towards that direction, I still maintain that they did not close down this facility entirely. Most people in Albuquerque have no idea that this open public walk trail is located right next to the underground base. I was living in Japan in 1964, and while I was in a college in Tokyo, I read an English language newspaper, and in the middle of the newspaper was a headline saying that New Mexico patrol officer sees saucer sitting on sand. And it was from Socorro, New Mexico, which I had never heard of. And I was fascinated by New Mexico. I don't believe in coincidence, but I got a scholarship from a university in Albuquerque in 1965. And what a tremendous coincidence this was. It was a destiny. And I've been in love with this amazing location ever since then.
As a place to live and work, Albuquerque is pretty hard to beat. It combines the easygoing atmosphere of a little Spanish town with the surging vitality of a modern metropolis. And underneath it all is a liberal measure of sophistication and culture.
I've been living here in the great state of New Mexico since 1965. As a Japanese person that came to this country, I'm so fortunate to be part of America's culture. What a tremendous opportunity and a fortune it is to be living in this state of New Mexico, the land of enchantment, which is made up of all cultures. I'll never regret this because this is the place. I was destined to come here, and I think I'm destined to die here.
When the Spanish explorers came here for the first time, they saw that mountain, and it was around sunset, and it looked like pink. And so they call it Sandia Mountain, which means watermelon.
It doesn't sound as mystical when
Yes.
you say it. It's better Sandia.
Without the Sandia Mountain, there's no Albuquerque, I don't think.
In 1982, I moved to Los Angeles for the first time.
Los Angeles, the city of angels, the land of dreams and excitement on America's West Coast.
I was looking for a job, and one day I went to an employment office, and the employment office person said that there's a job opening, and he didn't tell me what it was, so he told me to go to this place, and Lord behold, it was in a section in Los Angeles called Little Tokyo area, and when I got there, I found that it was a funeral home. And they were looking for somebody to answer the phone at night and stay overnight over there.
And at first it freaked me out, just staying upstairs by myself, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was sound asleep, and suddenly I clearly heard the voice of my father. He was saying, "Norio, Norio." For a few minutes, I couldn't even move. 2 weeks later, my father passed away in Yokohama, Japan. I still believe that that was a message. There's more things in this life than just the material things.
The word UFO is a very, very misleading terminology. It's a euphemism that can cause dissension, that can cause disagreements and antagonism. And I believe it wasn't a coincidence that this term was created during the late 60s to cause confusion.
One night, I was listening to a talk radio program that was being broadcast from Las Vegas, Nevada. It was, I think it was in 1989. At that time, I was in the morgue by myself listening to this talk program, and there was this guy who claimed to have worked at a secret location near Area 51, and that was Bob Lazar. And so I wrote a letter to a Japanese magazine called Mu. The Mu magazine writer became interested, and he said he wanted to come here to the United States and do a research together. And at the same time, he contacted a television station in Japan. And so the television station, the Nippon TV station, sends a crew along with this writer for the magazine. Somehow we got into contact with how to get in touch with Bob Lazar. February 21st, 1990. And we did a 3-4 hour interview at Bob Lazar's house. There was something strange about this guy, Bob Lazar, because his house seemed like it was not fully furnished. It seemed to me that it was not lived daily by Mr. Bob Lazar, and there were 2 men that constantly was walking around, and one guy had this this equipment that looked like a long communication device, and every time Mr. Lazar had to go to a restroom or during the break interview, this guy would follow him, and so I thought it was very strange, and I haven't told this to many people, but I felt that he was somehow being watched. He told us where to go to see the test flight of what he was saying.
I'm just going to ask the question. Did you guys see anything that first night? Did you guys?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
Exactly as Mr. Lazar said, right after sundown, a brilliant orangish light appeared over the Groom Mountains, way in the distance towards Area 51. And the crew had already set up a TV camera, so they caught it.
Did you see that move it did?
No, I didn't.
It went like it went boom, boom. Wow, look how bright it's getting. Look at it now.
The role of Mr. Lazar, I think, was very significant. And the role of the idea that Area 51 had something to do with alien technology was great as far as the Air Force was concerned, because it was a nice cover for something else that was taking place and is taking place even right now at Area 51. But the public's association of Area 51 has become so much so that it's a distraction. This is a front page of a large newspaper in California, of Torrance, California. It's called South Bay Daily Breeze. secrets in the desert. Rumored UFOs aren't the real danger at Area 51 test facility. Torrance man warns. So actually, this is a very good quote from that thing. There's nothing extraterrestrial or strange there. It's good old American technology. The government sits back and watches, and sometimes manipulates these UFO stories to keep people from asking about the real activities there, and so on. So it's a very good article. As we were approaching the perimeters of Area 51, we were suddenly, chased by this black military type helicopter with no insignia.
Now imagine that. You're driving down a public road, a military helicopter comes in, so damn low you think it's going to hit your car, and literally runs you off the road. This was clearly an illegal act by whomever was in control of those aircraft.
Because it was flying just above our cars as we were driving frantically to get away from that area. The helicopter turned around and started chasing us. It was right above our cars. It was right above our vehicles, which is illegal.
I remember that very well. You guys contacted us at UFO Magazine. We ended up running photographs of that in the magazine.
We saw one guy inside the helicopter with a helmet pointing some kind of a tube-like thing. I don't know if it was a camera or it was something else. But that was the only main incident. I felt some danger to my life at that time, but fortunately the helicopter went away. But within a minute we were surrounded by Lincoln County Sheriff Patrol cars, and we were told to get out of our cars and told to show our IDs, but eventually they let us go back to main highway. I'd never had an experience like that before.
In 1992, in Arcadia, California, the Ultimate Need to Know seminar was held on June 27th and 28th at the Embassy Suites Hotel. The two-day seminar featured 10 speakers who covered a variety of subjects that included UFOs, Area 51, the secret government, secret societies, and the Inslaw scandal.
There's no question in my mind that the conferences that we organized in early 1990s may have been the seed that grew into the whole conspiracy culture in America.
This flag hanging over my left shoulder, some of you may recognize, some of you may not. It's called the Gadsden flag because the rattlesnake was very deadly. If it was allowed to rest and not have its rights tread upon, then you had no danger from the rattlesnake. However, if you stepped near the ground, the rattle immediately sounded and a warning was given. A warning was given to stay away.
So America is now a country where conspiracy theories and beliefs in conspiracy theories play a major role in everything.
The current situation is the visible effect of a war currently going on in the intelligence community between a group centered in the CIA
note that this is not a UFO magnet. Sometimes I feel that it could have been our fault.
Don't tread on me. It's a warning to the government. It's a warning to the false government, because we are the government. It's a warning to the people that are in charge of everything right now.
Right on.
This is when I did a public presentation on the impact of UFO beliefs on American culture, and I did this at a large senior center in Rio Rancho. There were a lot of people in attendance at this conference. This is typical of the presentations that I have. These conferences became the foundation for what I call the modern day conspiracy culture in the United States. When people talk about QAnon conspiracy, okay.
The QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. At the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals.
Is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know.
The Q comes from the claims of a certain person who said he had a Q clearance and he wanted to remain anonymous. So that combination of Q clearance and anonymous became the QAnon conspiracy, and today there are so many followers of this QAnon conspiracy. There have been many, many folks in the past 30 years that have embraced this type of conspiracy, concept. Bill Cooper, or William Cooper, was basically the first person to associate the UFO phenomenon with the idea that a secret government will use the UFO phenomenon to create panic and to create the clamoring of the public for a strong, united global world order. This conspiratorial outlook, a connection between the UFO phenomenon and the so-called cover-up of the UFO phenomenon, and also the fact that a secret government could stage a fake extraterrestrial event in the future. This definitely planted the seed for a whole bunch of conspiracies.
What I've discovered is there's no proof existing anywhere that extraterrestrials are real. There is not one shred of evidence anywhere. There is lots of evidence, tons of it in fact, that there are a group of people collectively known as the Illuminati who want us to believe in some extraterrestrial threat from space so that they can cause a world government, bringing together of all the people to resist that external threat.
I also was one of those persons who promoted this possibility. There are still people in America that hold on to the QAnon conspiracy. So here we are, history repeats itself. There is a big difference between conspiracy theorists and conspiratologists. Now, in the dictionary, there's no such thing as a conspiratologist. It's a word that was coined by actually a friend of mine, Gary Schultz. This is very important because there's a huge difference between a conspiracy theorist and a conspiratologist. I consider myself not a conspiracy theorist, but I consider myself a conspiratologist, which may not necessarily believe in any conspiracy theories, but a conspiratologist uses these beliefs and studies how conspiracy theories affect society. Let me try to see if this is tuned. I've been studying the serious subject of ufology and conspiratology for many, many years. And this is such a heavy, serious subject matter that if I just stayed with conspiracy theories and ufology, I would have gone crazy. Let me look at it. This was an old photo of mine when I was into country western stuff, and let me look at. When I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, I even joined a country western band in Phoenix, and this country western band was led by a Cherokee Irish guy whose name was Johnny Whitecloud. So I became a member of the Johnny Whitecloud Country Western Band in Phoenix. You know, that was a fascinating aspect of my life, and even today, I am a fan of country western music. Well, I come from down around Tennessee, but the people in New Mexico are nice to me. America. It is right here. It was 2005, that's right. This was 50th anniversary of Area 51, and there was a gathering of about 50 aficionados of Area 51 gathered, and there was a big party, and we held that celebration right next to the perimeter lines by Groom Lake Road. There was an open, the entire space is open space, but there was one great location right almost next to the perimeter, and we set up a temporary stage over there. And when the evening came, I started playing my cosmic music right next to Area 51, and that was such an experience that I never forget. I still remember even now, and while I was playing, I'm sure that the guards at Area 51 were watching us. I had in mind the strangeness of locations like Area 51 and other locations, and I started imagining, and a melody came up. I created a series of cosmic wave music, which is a creation that just happened, and I still play occasionally that type of music because it brings you to some kind of a cosmic awareness, and that's what I like. And so my music is called cosmic wave music because as I play this type of created music, I imagine myself to be inside this grand cosmos. Beautiful. What a beautiful setting this is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good.
Conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Ho, ho, ho. It's a conspiracy. They operate secretly. Control what you hear and see. It's a conspiracy. Have that enemies, have that enemy, baby. Try to know the truth, but that's more than gun. And he only one fighting when the bullets do. Rain the sea, the lion, the you and me.